On May 17th, Saturn will be transiting into the nakshatra of Revati, the last nakshatra of all the 27 nakshatras, and it is closing a major cycle of 30 years that Saturn has been traveling through. This is a powerful time for all of us, and I'm going to be going through each individual sign to see what this means for you, along with some remedies so that we're able to harness this powerful transformation together. Let us see. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Saturn is currently transiting in the sign of Pisces, and it has been here for around a year and a half ago, and it's going to be here for a little bit longer until 2027. Now it is stepping into the last nakshatra, the last moon mansion of the Pisces sign, and this is definitely going to be so powerful for all of us. If you haven't not seen the Saturn in Pisces video, then definitely check it out over here. There you will understand a lot more of the general transit. This is going to become more specific on the nakshatra of Revati and what does that mean for all of us, and how it is that we can close this 30-year cycle with a golden lock. And before I keep continuing, let me introduce myself. My name is Revati Nakshatra. I am a Vedic astrologer, author, and practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. So if you are into Vedic astrology, self-development, and ancient knowledge, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss any of the nectar. So guys, Saturn in Pisces is a powerful time of a lot of purging, spiritual transformations, and a massive closure that is allowing for us to truly purge away what no longer needs. If you would like to understand more about Saturn and Pisces, then definitely check out the video Saturn and Pisces that's already in my channel. You can check it out over here, which is also going to let you know the transit for each individual sign and how that affects you. Now, when we're talking about the Revati Nakshatra, Revati is a very special nakshatra. It is the 27th nakshatra, and it is at the end of Pisces, running from 16 degrees of Pisces to 30 degrees of Pisces. And this is a nakshatra that is very powerful because it is a nakshatra that deals with the energies of closure. It is ruled by the sign, by the planet of Mercury, and it is in the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. This is an energy of the wealthy star, to transcend once again, the power to nourish. This is the nakshatra that gives us the ability to have a graceful ending to things. That after we've gone through the whole aspect of life, because that's what the nakshatras symbolize, the whole journey of the soul through the many aspects of life, it comes to this 27th nakshatra, where it finally becomes wealthy once again, where it taps into the divinity, into the deepest waters, into the powerful spiritual bliss that truly lies within our soul. And by this time, by the time that we get into Revati, we are understanding in our spiritual journey that we are not these bodies, that we are not the thoughts in our minds, that we are not our past. All of these things are temporary. My body, my mind, what I think of myself, what I think of this world, this body is constantly changing. I'm not the same as I was when I was 5, when I'm 30, and when I'm old, I'm gonna look totally different. So these bodies are temporary. So identifying ourselves with something temporary can bring immense pain and suffering in our lives. So it is about identifying ourselves with the eternal part of who we are, which is our soul. And Revati is that coming back home, coming back to that divine soul within. And in that is where we find the wealth, the true wealth, the infinite wealth of bliss, of joy, and happiness. But it is a spiritual journey that goes through the material world into the spiritual world. And being the last nakshatra, it has this vibe of being the wealthy one once again, the power to nourish. It gives us resolution. It gives us the tapping into our infinity, the infinite part of ourselves, which is our soul. It brings faith. it brings caring, it is dutiful, and it is the safe travels into the other dimensions, into the other world. This is when the soul finally leaves the entrapment of the material body. This is all metaphorical, of course, but it is about liberation, the ultimate liberation, the ultimate moksha. And because of this nakshatra is actually very beautiful. It is revered, it is benevolent, it is very charitable, it is very deeply spiritual, naturally. Venus becomes highly exalted in the Revati Nakshatra. And so this is a very powerful, powerful nakshatra. And when we have the combination of Saturn and Revati and the sign of Pisces, Saturn being the disciplinary, right? Check out my video on Saturn through the houses, where you will be able to learn more about what is Saturn and how does it come, and the significance of Saturn in Vedic astrology. Mainly, Saturn is this main disciplinary. It teaches us about detachment. It teaches us about chronic structure. It wants us to structure our life. It wants us to follow some sort of responsibility and structure. And it doesn't matter how much we whine or we complain about it. Saturn is like, you got to carry this weight, period. That's just how it has to be. And it's also the karma. Saturn represents the karma that we accumulate through our lifetime, in this lifetime, but also through our past lifetimes. This is why, certain people, when we're born and we may see like, oh, that baby was born with cancer, how terrible, how bad, but it was just the karma of that soul. It's nothing against it. It just had to go through that purification. Other people are like, well, they get rich and famous in a second, and that's their karma. Their karma was that they did good things in their past lives, and so they get this benefit now. So that's why we can't compare ourselves to other people. That's why we can't try to copy other people's lives. We have to understand that we have our own personal karmas that we have to go through, and it is also the material ego. It is the density of life. That's what Saturn represents. Pisces, on the other hand, represents the 12th sign, the last sign of the zodiac. It is an emotional depth. It is highly spiritual. It represents isolation. We isolate ourselves to find a deeper connection with the divine, to do our spiritual practices. We disconnect from the mundane world to go within and to really tap into that spiritual part of ourselves. That is the Piscean energy. It is also the subconscious. It is the part of ourselves that is highly subconscious. And we know that the subconscious, whatever's in the subconscious, really rules over us. We may be a little bit blindsided to what is inside our subconscious, but the subconscious is really where we can see the things that have been stuck in there from lifetimes. What we carry in a subconscious way will affect our behaviors and will affect the way that we show up in the world. And also, Pisces represents the final chapters. That's why it rules over old people, the seniors, the wise ones. It also the final chapters of going into the spiritual world. That's why the Piscean energy is very astro traveling, very transcendental. It goes into the dream world. It goes into the transcendence of the body, into the spiritual world. It has very strong imagination. So this is the Piscean energy. And then when we add the Revati energy, this is the final constellation, the final degrees of the last constellation, finishing up a whole circular motion of 30 years that took Saturn 30 years to go through. So this is like the final countdown. The final countdown. Saturn here is really giving us some amazing, powerful things to close this chapter fully. And so the final constellation of Revati takes us into the deepest emotional waters of them all. The deepest emotional waters of them all. The deepest subconscious parts of ourselves. Also, it is the ultimate closure. This is the ultimate closing of a situation, of a pattern, of a habit, of something. It's going to be different for everybody, but it is a final closure. And that's what Saturn is trying to help us do. Because once it goes into Aries, whatever we decide to carry and hold on to will come with us in the next 30 years. So we have to see it in that way. It's like, do I really want to carry this wound, this pain, this suffering, this trauma, this subconscious pattern, this negative thinking, this bad situation, this bad relationship, this bad job, this whatever? Do I really want to carry this for another 30 years? And this might be the pressure where we're getting the pressure of like, get the ultimate closure of this. And with that comes peace. That is one of the beautiful qualities of Revati. Peace, serenity, liberation, moksha. So that is one of the architecture of this transit with Pisces and with the energies of Revati Nakshatra. So very, very powerful. Now, Revati being the sign of Mercury and Saturn, we have a combination of Saturn and Mercury kind of mixing here together. And so there's a physical and elemental practices that can harmonize this Revati's energy. So number one, stones. One of the stones that works very, very well with this energy is amethyst. This is why I'm wearing amethyst. Amethyst absorbs negativity and connects ourselves to a higher spiritual frequency. So amethyst is very, very good to bring that balance between the Saturn and the Mercury energies. Also, earth connection, walking barefooted, especially because Pisces rules the feet. So walking barefooted on green grass is going to be a fantastic way to heal and to bring into harmony the Saturn and Mercury energy. A direct remedy for Mercury that reduces neurological strain and calms the brain is actually walking in nature and reconnecting and grounding, especially if you do many things on the computer. So that's going to be something really good. And also fasting, of course, fasting and mantras. So chanting Saturn or Mercury mantras. You can check out my Saturn video and my Mercury video for those mantras. And observe the structural fasting to build vital discipline. So yes, fasting on Wednesdays or fasting on Saturdays could be a fantastic way for you to harness the energy of this Mercury and Saturn energy. Also doing Wednesday rituals. So on Wednesdays, I do suggest that you check out my Mercury video, because my Mercury video has a bunch of remedies for Mercury, and there you will be able to see more. But mainly Wednesday rituals: consume and donate green vegetables on Wednesdays, especially moong dal. And on Wednesdays, you want to stabilize that Mercury's energy, also wearing the color green. Okay, so that is for the stabilization of Mercury and Saturn together. Let us understand as well the three phases of this transit of Saturn going through Revati. So the three phases, for first one, it starts with May 17th to October 10th of 2026. This is the first phase. And here is the first entry where Saturn is going to be entering into the Revati Nakshatra, and it's going to be going also into retrograde motion. So the initial trigger of past karma, it starts here. So this is something that we can watch out for. During this time, we are going to be feeling this energy of the past karma coming back, the past karma really stepping forward. The past karma is going to be up in our, in the front of our life, showing us like, hello, these things need to be taken care of. So this past karma is very, very, very strong. And Saturn specifically deals with past, deals with karma, deals with the growth through our karma, and Pisces deals with the closure of this. So this is the first energy, okay? Then from February 8th to June 3rd of 2027, that is when we're going to be having a direct motion again in Revati Nakshatra, and this is when we're going to start having the structural realization and the physical shifting. Okay, so at this time now we see things change. Like before it was the karma, oh my gosh, I'm still going through this, I have to work through this. And then during this February 8th to June 3rd of 2027, that is when we actually go into a structural change. Things are shifting, things are changing. We can see them physically, that they're now manifesting these changes that we've been wanting to happen in our lives. And then from October 21st to October 21st of 2027 to February 24th of 2028, that is the final stage, the last degrees of Saturn going through the energies of Revati. So this final transit is the ultimate exit and the karmic finality before leaving the zodiac. So that is when Saturn is going to do the final touches. Like this is the time where it's like, okay, what do you want to carry to your next life? What do you want to let go fully before we go into your next life? This is very, very important. So understanding that one of the things about Saturn is that Saturn is moving from its own constellation of Uttara Bhadrapada, and now it's going into this Mercury nakshatra. And so it demands a closing of the old life chapters. So definitely check out the little remedies that I have for the Saturn and Mercury that I just talked about, because that could really help you in managing these different cycles. So Saturn usually deals as well with the material manifestation of things. And so what can we expect that is going to be shifting for us with these material manifestations? First, career and work, of course. Saturn rules all these things with career and work. And so we may start having more support of technology, support for technology, AI, hospitals, and invisible frameworks. These things can shift in the world, and we can see that there's going to be more of this structure that's going to be happening with this digitalized situation. And it is also ideal for jobs requiring relocation. So some of you guys, don't be surprised if you end up relocating for your job, if there's a lot of traveling, especially traveling to faraway lands for your job. If there's a possibility for you to get a job abroad, even better for you. But this is like opening the door for you to kind of work abroad. Also, there could be some geographical or location changes that you may experience, where maybe powerful triggers for permanent migration for some of you guys, and also moving away from your homeland to find some spiritual roots, or changing residencies from an old home to a new place. So there is there could be great possibilities of changing your location during this time of Saturn in Revati. Also, relationships and bonds get shifted as well. So demands a very serious and long-term commitment for those of you who are not in a relationship yet, or their boyfriend and girlfriend. Saturn here may be like, okay, but in the next cycle, you guys are married. Like Saturn demands long-term commitment. None of this like, oh, we're just dating and see how it goes. No, like it wants solidity. And for those of you who are already in a long-term commitment in a marriage, then they can face a little bit of temporary, dryness and isolation and detachment here. So just know that your relationship is also going through some sort of purification, because you guys individually are going through a lot of purging. There's like immense purging that is happening during this next upcoming Revati Saturn cycle. So, and if a relationship is extremely toxic, not good for you, then Saturn will say like, end this. And if there is bad habits in a relationship, like the relationship is not bad, but there's like little bad, habits in the relationship, it's like changing and shifting those bad habits so it doesn't poison the relationship. And also, this is all about spiritual growth, okay? It's a deeply introspective phase. This is the moment to really take our spirituality very, very, very seriously. We can have some amazing realizations. We can really reach some amazing liberations. We can really reach some great levels of healing from our ancestral lineage, our ancestral karma, baggages from past lives. Like, this is a great time for this. And if Saturn sees that you're taking it very seriously, it will definitely reward you. It is also a time of material ambitions. They can dissolve a little bit during this time, because Saturn is dissolving. It dissolves a lot during this Revati Nakshatra. So it wants you to get to the core of what is the most important thing, which is your soul. So there could be this material ambitions dissolve, and it replaced by a resilient maturity. So dissolve the immaturities, so real strong maturity comes in. Dissolve what's no longer helping you, so real power comes through. So it's very, very powerful for really gaining a very strong sense of inner spiritual strength. One more thing that we have to really be aware of is that this is going to definitely trigger immense lineage ripple effect. Okay? Pisces deals with a lineage, deals with the family lineage, deals with the past and like the family members, the ancestors. And especially also Saturn also deals with a lot of ancestral energy. So a lot of our subconscious can lie from ancestral karma, ancestral baggage, ancestral pain. And so this is a time where it really is coming to immense surface. And this transit is going to awaken family specific karmas across generations. Okay, so first, it's going to trigger the ancestors and the parents, which is the 9th and the 4th house axis. And it's going to help you solve any unsolved ancestral problems. Okay, so the ancestors, the parents demand attention and closure. So 4th house matters, 9th house matters. They really demand a lot of closure and attention. We cannot ignore family situations. We cannot ignore lineage and ancestral situations. This is just going to be heavier duty if we do this. So we have to kind of deal with this. Also, spouse and siblings. That is also another part that Saturn will be triggering, which is like, you know, there could be some sudden career shifts for the spouse or for you. And there could be also, especially foreign lands, where we move somewhere else, where we go to another land, where we go to another state, where we go to another place. And also any hidden karmic debts with siblings emerge for resolution. So this is the moment to not ignore the sibling responsibility, as well as children's and in-laws. So this is also turning on the 12th house and the 5th house axis, where we need to take care of the children. We need to take care of the responsibility of the children, and we need to take care of the in-laws. So we can't just ignore in-laws issues or ignore child issues. This is a time to really be responsible with these matters, okay? This can really profoundly affect your children's long-term commitments and also with your in-laws. So this is a time to really set it up in the right direction for you. Now, according to where you are in your life at this time, how old you are, this is going to be a different type of energy, okay? Because we have 30-year cycles of responsibility. So from 0 to 30 years old, if you're from 0 to 30 years old, you are in the moment of dependence. You are in the first Saturn cycle, a period of learning, a period of absorption, a period of creating reliance and external circumstances. If you are from the ages of 31 to 60, then this is the time where you are in your independence. You are in your second cycle. You're really building a personal empire that is yours, and you're establishing yourself as an authority and carrying family karma. Then if we are more at the end of our lives from 61 to 90, you are in the period of surrender. You're in the period of the final cycle. You are returning to dependence in a way or another and releasing this material ambition, and you start focusing more on spiritual liberation. You are preparing yourself for your death in the sweetest, wonderful way, because we know that that's going to happen to everybody. But it's the spiritual responsibility that we have to do. So according to where you are in your life, Saturn will be, triggering certain things specifically for you. Now, let us understand some remedies that we can do during this Saturn in Revati cycle. Definitely check out my Saturn through Pisces, because that's going to give you more understanding of this general cycle. But for this last nakshatra, there is some remedies that we can do. The first one is focus on your feet, because Pisces rules the feet. And because it's the last nakshatra, even more. So reflexology on the feet. Amazing. Massaging your feet every night. Very good. Taking care of your feet, even if it's just a pedicure. Very good. Like, do not let your feet be neglected. We have to understand that our feet are actually taking care of us every single day, holding us, standing us up. With Saturn energy, also practicing good posture, fixing the feet, knowing that we're stepping into the feet correctly. Mountain pose, yoga mountain pose will be fantastic, as well as a stand-up desk will also be very good. But just, the feet is very important, as well as maybe putting your feet in hot water at night, hot water with some apple cider vinegar and some baking soda. That would be a fantastic way to detoxify and to kind of release energy out of your feet. Detoxification is another super important remedy that we can do during this time. Saturn in the last degrees of Pisces wants you to practice the feeling of releasing and detoxification and cleansing. So not only spiritually and subconsciously we're doing this, but also to do it with your body. So detoxify, cleanse your body, eat better, do cleanses, do detoxes, do purges. Anything like this is going to be really, really good for you. A lot of dry brushing would really help with turning on the lymphatic system to help you release the toxins inside your body. So focusing on releasing the toxins inside our body is a wonderful way to really bring healing to the Saturn in Revati and to ignite that energy of purification within ourselves. Also check out at the beginning of the video, I put some remedies for Mercury and Saturn alignment. That is also some great remedies you can use for this cycle, as well as donating materials. So offer medicine, oil, fried foods, black sesame seeds. This is great, or even black cloth, black blankets. This is a wonderful way to donate, and that's definitely going to make Saturn very, very happy that you do that. Also donate any iron, like iron things made out of iron, iron skillets, iron objects. All of this balances out the Saturn's heavy energy. Also, serve the vulnerable. Saturn wants you to serve those who can't serve themselves. So engage with any charities. Volunteer work at this time will be a wonderful way to truly heal a lot of the Saturnian and Revati energy, to just do something without wanting something in return, to give in charity, to give money in charity, to give things away, to donate things away. Like, all of this is a wonderful way to heal the Saturnian energy. And also feed animals and provide service to the poor without expectation or reward or recognition of any sort. That is a great way for you to also heal that Saturnian energy. Also, refrain from harm, okay? Eradicate laziness. That is like number one thing here. Saturn does not accept any procrastination, laziness, and escapism in Pisces. Even though it's the shadow side of Pisces, Saturn here will not tolerate this. So Saturn punishes inaction. It wants you to move. It wants you to do. It will punish inaction. Also, do not seek shortcuts. Not with Saturn. There's no shortcut. You're not smarter and wittier because you found a shortcut. No. Yes, work smarter, but you have to put energy and you have to put effort in it. Do not expect that other people will work for you. Do not expect that something else will do it for you. Do not expect that there's going to be an easy way out. Do not expect that there's going to be some sort of shortcut. Saturn will definitely punish that as well. And avoid causing emotional harm to others, okay? As karmic debts are finalized right now. So this is the moment for you to not add more karma in your life, but to cleanse yourself from the karma that you've been carrying for some time, okay? And as I mentioned, there's also a lot of karma, ancestral karma, that gets stored in our hips and in our lower back. So doing many stretches that opens the hips up, that releases this tension in the lower back, like pigeon pose or any other pose that can help you to open up those hips. That is going to be a wonderful way to also release and heal this. It will be another wonderful remedy for you to use as well. And also understanding your Saturn in your chart. What is your Saturn? Yes, Saturn right now is in Pisces, but Saturn in your chart is your biggest karma. So if you're right now in the process of releasing karma, you want to look at your Saturn in your chart, and definitely check out my video Saturn Through the Houses, because that can give you more understanding of what that means. And that is one of the main things you have to focus in releasing, surrendering, let go, and to work at. So very, very important. And also check out the energies of Mercury, just where your Mercury is, because your Mercury is also having some sort of discipline and structure that is happening. And I have that video already in my channel as well for you. So that is the remedies that we have for this Saturn in Revati Nakshatra. Very powerful energies. And now we're going to be I'm going to be doing a short little horoscope for each individual sign. Definitely check out the video of Saturn in Pisces, because that is going to have a longer and more detailed understanding of what this transit is. This is just going to be for Revati Nakshatra. And remember that you want to check your ascendant and your moon sign. So the ascendant is the reality of what happens. Like the ascendant sign will show you, like, this is what you're going to physically experience, like the physical actions, the tangible results, the tangible events. So it could be career changes or new trajectories. It could be physical relocations and travel. It could be external losses or material gains. It could be physical health. And it could also be literal relationship status changes that can happen here. Now, the moon sign, that is going to give you the reality of how it feels for you. So this is the part that governs our psychological weight and our emotional states. So you can expect shifts in the inner apprehension and anxiety, like you can feel more of that, especially if we're not doing the work to let go. Feelings of isolation despite being, in crowds or with people. So there's this sense of isolation. We could also be having a lot of subconscious fears and triggers coming up in our lives at this time. And we can also have a lot of internal processes of deep karma that the Saturn in Revati is doing for us. So emotional ties to people and places can also happen here. So that is more of the internal part. So check both signs. If you don't know where they lie, then definitely go to my calculator, my Vedic astrological calculator in the description here below. In my website, you will be able to find it. Now let us go into each individual sign to see how this Saturn in Revati will shift for you and will impact your life. Welcome, Aries ascendant or Aries moon, to your horoscope for this Saturn in Revati transit. Definitely check out the beginning of the video to understand the depth and the power of this transit and the remedies as well. And also check out the video of Saturn in Pisces in my channel that's already there, because that is going to definitely show you what a deeper understanding of this. This is just going to be a short little horoscope for you. So with Saturn on the last degrees of the 12th house, you are definitely on the last purge here. And I know you've been going through a very difficult time of a lot of endings, a lot of closure, and you may be feeling like, when am I going to move forward? I feel like I can't move towards the future. It's all this past stuff. It's all these things, and you may not be able to see into the future too much. And you're just like, finishing up loose ends. So with you, one thing that I want to, warn you about is that there could be more expenses coming up here, okay? Because Saturn is taking you into some understanding that we need to release and let go. My biggest remedy for you, my beautiful Aries, is that you do decide to just close, let go, release, and go to a temple and have a sabbatical and just like go somewhere where it's a lot cheaper, or just isolate yourself, go live in a little cottage in the middle of nowhere. Doing this and purposely going into this like spiritual retreat is going to be one of the best things you can do, so Saturn doesn't bring so much losses. But if you want to stay in the same situation, hold on to your job, hold on to everything, and you want everything to kind of be the same, then you may experience an extra expenses that increase. So the best thing I really suggest is that you do some foreign traveling. Go to a faraway land, go somewhere far for a good amount of time, somewhere cheaper, and somewhere where you can stay isolated for a while. That is going to be really beneficial for you. It is also a literal isolation. So you may be feeling a little bit more isolated, alone than usual. And there could be this feeling of immense isolation, but this isolation is trying to help you to go within yourself, and it's trying to help you purge what no longer serves you. Because once Saturn goes into your sign, a new 30-year cycle truly begins for you. So That is very, very important. There could also be some sleep disruption for you with Saturn in the 12th house. So try your best to do meditation, to do your spiritual practices, to not overwork so much, to simplify. That is the key for you. Simplify. What can you let go of the plate that you don't have to be carrying all the time? Simplify your life as much as possible. And that is how Saturn is going to be better for you. We can also be feeling an emotional isolation here, a little bit of feeling alone internally. There could also be an impulsive sort of spending, so that could also lead to some losses. So really try to budget yourself. That could really help. And it is definitely an urgent need for karmic cleansing, especially for my Sari Sati moons in Aries, especially for you guys. So it feels intense, it feels strong, but if you do this work, if you do the work and you just take the time for like, okay, this is not the time for future new beginnings, for this, for that. This is a time to release, to let go, to close, to end. And I'm going to finish these karmic patterns now. Then Saturn will really help you. And then when you start your new 30-year cycle, you're not going to be carrying the garbage from the past. And that's the blessing that Saturn is really trying to give you here. Let's see what are some messages for my beautiful Aries when it comes to Saturn in Revati. For Aries, for Saturn in Revati. And we have surrender stress. Absolutely. This is so, so important. I know it's stressful and the pressure is intense, but the pressure is intense because you're still trying to hold on. The moment that you say, okay, I surrender, I let it go. I'm not going to over endeavor anymore. I'm going to let go of this bad relationship, this bad job, this bad thing that I know that if I'm not overextending myself, it's just going to fall apart. Okay. If you surrender like that, even if you feel like I'm going to end up with nothing, don't worry about it. Saturn will give you more once this is done. But the time has come for you to surrender whatever makes you stressed. The stress is a sign that you need to let go of that. So take a deep breath, do lots of meditation, and exhale the tension that's building up in your body. Let the stress go so that you can come back to your center. We also have surrender to success. This is how you're going to be able to be more successful. Not with carrying the burdens, not with carrying the garbage, not with carrying all these things from the past. Saturn is doing all of this not to mess with you. It's trying to do all of this to help you really step into success. You're no longer that old self. You're no longer the past. So you are ready to experience abundance in all its forms. Do not let limitations from the past hold you back. This is the time for you to let go of that story, let go of what happened, and to truly allow yourself to start from zero completely. And then you can really build something new. And surrender defensiveness. Being defensive, getting defensive is a sign of weakness, Aries, and it's not going to help you right now. Something is showing up and you're being defensive about it, but that's exactly what needs to be let go of, okay? So to communicate in a more empowered way, to be more yielding, listen, surrender that ego, and stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. This is something that this Saturn is definitely trying to heal in you. If we react in a very defensive way, Saturn will definitely bring some punishment here as well. So those are your messages, my beautiful Aries. I hope that they help. Love you guys so much. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message with me, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one consultation with me. Book one in the description here below. You will be able to find the link. And those were your messages, Aries. Please let us know in the comments how this Saturn in Pisces transit has been teaching you, what has been teaching you. We would love to know. And also, we are here to help you out and to support you as well. So that is for you. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And thank you so much for being here, my beautiful Aries. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Tauruses. Welcome, Taurus, to your horoscope for this Saturn in Revati transit. And for you, Saturn is having the last degrees of transit in the 11th house of dreams and aspirations, collaborations, and your big gains. So Saturn here has been trying to to tailor you, has been trying to polish you in becoming a more strong person that really believes in themselves and that goes for their dreams and aspirations, Taurus. And it has been difficult because Saturn has been aspecting your sign this whole time. So you also been going through like a growth spurt. You've been going through like this mature spurt. You've been going through a like you're like a diamond, and Saturn has been putting this pressure on you so that you can become this diamond. So it feels heavy. It feels a little bit heavy here, but you're good. Nothing, you're going to get through this, because at the end, Saturn really wants to reward you with some really deep, powerful dreams and aspirations that you've been wanting to have for yourself. But we need to first cleanse. We need to first clean. And I highly suggest you check out the remedies at the beginning of the video, and to also listen to how you're going to be experiencing the Saturn in Revati, because that is going to really show you what you can expect for this. Also check out my Saturn in Pisces video. That is going to be a deeper analysis on this transit. But here is just a tiny little horoscope on this Saturn and Revati energy. So for Saturn, your gains are going to arrive slowly. That's number one. Okay? So I know it's tedious. I know it's annoying. I know it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm putting so much energy and like I'm barely getting anything in. But what you're building is actually going to be solid and long-term and sustainable. So don't expect quick and easy and fast big gains. Okay, number one. Also, it's going to come steadily. That's really good. Also, we have a friend circle that is going to shrink to only the most loyal people in your life, which is great. And if you have no friends, then Saturn here is helping you to gain some good friends in your life that are going to be solid people for you. Okay? And friends are good. Friends are good things, Taurus, for your relationship, for your life, for yourself, for everything. So we want to have friends. We don't want to isolate so much. And if you do isolate too much, Saturn is going to be like, stop isolating, stop, avoiding friendships, avoiding social locations. Like, this is important for you to also master and to understand and to create in your life, like not live a friendless life. It's important to gain those friends, especially more mature friends that are better than you, friends that can teach you, friends that can help you. So you're going to get some really loyal friends here. And also, it's going to give you a long-term structure that really pays off for your dreams and aspirations to really get there. So it's establishing this long-term structure for you, my beautiful Taurus. Also, you're going to be feeling like feelings that friends are kind of drifting away, especially if you have like a big circle of friends. You could be feeling like, oh, some friends are leaving, some are not staying, some are like, there's some karmic friends. I'm learning many things about friendships, like what is really a good friend in my life. That, if there's any friend enemies hitting, Saturn is going to get rid of them. So you're here being encouraged to have more soul friends that are more spiritually in alignment with you, that it's not just like a material connection, but a more spiritual connection deep down inside. So trust that whatever Saturn is releasing and letting go is going to be better for you. Also, social detachment and delayed fulfillment of desires requires patience. So you really need to be patient with manifestation of your desires. And I know that you may be feeling like, oh my God, I try, I do, and nothing shows, and nothing's happening. Detach a little bit. That doesn't mean don't care about your dreams. Do it. But just know that it's not going to be an instant gratification thing. It requires patience. So if you're starting a channel, if you're starting a community, if you're starting a blog, if you're starting a movement, if you're starting whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to take some time. And the gains that you're expecting from it is going to take some time. So the faster you just mentally prepare yourself for that, the easier it's going to be for you with this Saturn in Revati transit. Okay, let's see what other messages do we have for Taurus with Saturn in the Revati transit. And we have innocence. So learning that everybody's innocent, even if there's bad friends that leave, like, don't hold any animosity. Even if people let you down, don't hold any animosity. Understand that everybody has ignorance. Everybody's in their ignorant self, where nobody's perfect, nobody's super realized. So bring the innocence in them. just so that it doesn't mean you have to keep being friends with them, but it gives you peace of mind. And also see your own innocence, that you're growing into this person that can really uphold this dream and this aspiration, Taurus. So don't be so hard on yourself. Like, you will get there. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We also have be honest with yourself. Very important. So this is going to be a very powerful transit that is going to make you look at the reality of things. It's going to make you look at, like, be honest with yourself, Taurus. Is this really what you want? Is this really what you seek? Is this really what you desire? Is this really your dreams and aspirations? So getting to the bottom of that and being honest about also who you give your energy to as well. So very, very, very important. There's going to be a big reality check. So again, don't try to put blinders on. Try to really be honest with yourself during this transit, even if it may be a little bit difficult to swallow. And relationships. So there is something going on with relationship here for you. There could be some relationship changes for you, and getting very honest about the relationship that you want and seek in your life. Also getting very honest about, like, how do you show up in the relationship? What is, like, your fantasy dreams and aspirations around a relationship? Like, maybe understanding that, like, you know what? I can't expect my partner to be this perfect person that I want them to be. And, like, surrendering that idea. Or surrendering, you know, if there's a violent, abusive relationship, then yes, surrender that relationship too. But there's also a very strong reality check that is happening here around relationships for you during the Saturn in Revati transit. Very, very powerful. So that is your messages. Definitely check out the remedies at the beginning of the video to help you subside this intense energy, as well as check out the beginning of the video because that's going to explain so much more about the energy of this transit. Also check my Saturn in Pisces video. That is also going to give you more understanding of this transit. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. Book it with the description here below. You will find a link to my consultations. Alrighty, those were your messages, Taurus, and please let us know in the comments what have you been learning in Saturn and Pisces thus far, so we can all learn and support each other here in the channel. Alrighty, those are your messages. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Geminis. Welcome, Gemini, to your horoscope for this powerful Saturn in Pisces. And for you, this is a very important transit. And believe me, it's not going to come back for another 30 years. Check out the beginning of the video to understand why this transit is so crucial and important, as well as remedies. You're definitely going to need it because the nakshatra that it's landing on is in Mercury, which is your planet ruler. So for you, it has been a big lessons on career, big lessons on hard work, big lessons on your reputation, on your status in life. And right here, there is no shortcuts. There's only hard work. Saturn really wants you to do that. Check out Saturn in Pisces video. It's already in my channel because that's going to explain to you a lot more about the karmic baggage of this transit. But for Revati Nakshatra, we have this very short horoscope. And so for you, Gemini, this is a very heavy career pressure, or a lot of pressure and workload. Like a lot of pressure at work, and you have a lot of work and a lot of workload, or very heavy career pressure. So you're feeling it. And now that it's coming to the last degrees, it's getting very real. It's getting very, very, very real, Gemini. And it's a toughie, okay? It's a toughie, but if you work with Saturn, Saturn will promise you that you get a stable career. It will help you build a stable career. Like, let's say when you first open a business, like a restaurant, there's that 2-year mark that if you pass that 2-year mark, you just pretty much set yourself up for success for another decade. That's exactly what this is. And that first 2 years is hard work, a lot of sweating, maybe seeing, just paying off the debt, just paying off the loan, not seeing so many gain. But just crossing that finish line of the 2 years has led a foundation and a structure that you can really count on. So that is what the Saturn in Revati is really helping you do. And Saturn is not going to allow you to have a shortcut to have an easy way out, to be doing what you already been doing that hasn't been working. Like, you're gonna be busting your butt, okay? And I just want to prepare you for that. And don't see it as like, oh my God, that's so scary, it's so bad, I don't want to. No, get excited. Get excited, because once you do this, you really are going to establish yourself either in your own independent career or at work, and you're really going to solidify an amazing career for yourself. Like, this is the moment to get very serious about this. There's a slow rise to authority roles. So don't expect overnight success. Don't expect that immediately everything you get. Don't expect that, it's going to be easy. Don't expect that it's going to move fast. Don't expect that it's going to be immediate. No, it's going to be very, very slow, especially to go up the corporate ladder or for you to see success in your business. It's going to take its time. And fame arrives with a lot of post-struggle. Okay, so even if you do get that position, that higher job, that job you always wanted, like, it comes with a lot of responsibility. So just get it out of your head that it's going to be easy. That's my best advice for you. And the more you're like getting the game that is going to be hard and tough and that you have to work hard, the easier it's going to be. So it really brings a lot of pressure here, but you can do it. You are ready to do it. This is why Saturn is here, building you and creating the diamond that you are. Also, there's also a crucial need to stay mentally occupied, okay? That you're busy, okay? That you just work for the hell of working, okay? Very important. Delayed recognition tests discipline as well. So this is the time where we're seeing like how disciplined you really are. If you're not getting it fast, if you're not getting it immediately, if you're not getting recognition, if you're not getting money instantaneously, are you just going to quit? Are you just going to drop it? Are you just going to go into something else? Are you going to fragment yourself? Stay disciplined. Stay disciplined. And unstructured time leads to spirals. So if you don't have a structured situation in your job where you're like, okay, this is when I work, this is when I do this, especially if you work from home, especially if you're your own boss, you really need to do this structure. If not, you're just going to be feeling like you're going in circles and not going anywhere. And at work, also ask for this structure, ask for these things, because it's going to be more beneficial for you. Now let's see, what else do we have for Gemini for this Saturn in Revati for Gemini, for this Saturn in Revati for Gemini? And we have conscious consumer. So be very conscious of what you consume. And I'm not just talking about food-wise or what you buy, but also what you consume online, that you don't have a bunch of tabs open in your computer, that you learn to focus, that you learn to do one thing at a time and finish it. Learning to not be overly consuming stimulation, overly doing things. This also can fragment you amazingly. So be very focused on your consumption. Also what you consume in media, what you consume in how you're spending your time. Is it productive or non-productive? What are you consuming? What are you eating? And what are you spending your money on? Be practical at this time. Another message for Gemini for Saturn in Revati. And we have attracting, not chasing. You attract when you are just disciplined and you do it instead of chasing the money, instead of chasing what everybody else is doing, instead of chasing the next like shiny thing, instead of chasing the easy thing or the way out. You select something, you choose that's what you're going to do, you choose that's what you're going to be disciplined with, and you work and you work and you work, and that's how you become attractive and you attract that thing to you. And last but not least, deservingness. This is so important. What is inside of you subconsciously, in your subconscious, that maybe sometimes doesn't make you feel like you're deserving of that high status, or deserving of the success, or deserving of having a great job and a great career in your life. So working through that as well. That is a spiritual inner work of like, no, you do deserve this. It's going to be hard work. It's not going to be easy. Just because it comes easy doesn't mean that you just deserve it. It comes easy. I mean, it comes to you and you deserve it because you work hard for it, because you proved yourself. So knowing that you are deserving no matter what. So that is your messages. Gemini, go check out Saturn in Pisces video. That's going to give you more extended understanding of this transit. And also check out the remedies at the beginning of the video that can really help you and subside the intensity of this Saturn. And also check out how this Saturn is so important with the energies of Pisces and Revati at the beginning. That's your messages. Thank you so much for being here. Please let us know in the comments what has been the things that Saturn has been teaching you during this transit of Pisces. We'll love to know and we'll love to be here for you. Alrighty, those are your messages, and now we're going to be doing our beautiful Cancers. Welcome, Cancer, to your horoscope for this Saturn in Revati Nakshatra. And for you, Saturn is crossing through the 9th house, so you are having extra discipline and hardships with your duties, your responsibilities, and your father and your ancestors. Okay, there's like a heaviness here that is coming to you when it comes to these matters. Now, I highly suggest that you check out the Saturn in Pisces video, because that's going to give you more understanding of how this is affecting you and how it is that you can manage it in a better way. But Saturn here is really trying to help you to be strong in your faith. Okay, and especially that's now stepping into Revati. This is like a deep internal faith within you. Now, Saturn here is not allowing you to get the luckiness that you usually have. Okay, so your luck is being tested. So don't test your luck because this is not the time for where the luck is just pouring in. And this could be feeling a little bit weird for you, because usually it just comes. Usually the luck is just there. So Saturn here is kind of saying like, okay, if you don't have the luck, do you still believe? If you don't have the mercy, do you still believe? So that's one thing. Also, spiritual discipline, very important. Your discipline with your church, with your temple, your discipline with your prayer, your discipline with reading scripture, your discipline with your rituals, very important. Saturn is not going to be happy if you're skipping this, if you're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to go to church, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do this. No, you have to be on it. And Saturn will reward you if you are being disciplined with your belief systems. And if you don't have any belief systems, then Saturn here is really poking at you, saying like, oh yeah, you don't believe in anything? Then what do you really believe in? And it could really be testing your negative thoughts. Also, a great time for pilgrimages. So if you have the ability to go on a pilgrimage, if you have the ability to go on something like this, that's going to be greatly beneficial for you, my beautiful Cancer, and Saturn will be very happy for you to do that. Also, any spiritual fastings, religious fastings, very important. Also, interactions with mentors shift belief systems here. So find that mentor, find that guru, find that teacher. Even if they're hardcore, even if they're disciplined, even if they're not making it easy for you, this is something that is going to help you shift things within you and is going to make it better for your life. We can also be having a lot of inner doubt regarding mentors and father figures, or just a lot of inner doubt in general, where you're just very skeptical about many things with Saturn here. Also, a lot of emotional friction during travel. So when you travel, it's a little bit of a heavy situation. It doesn't mean that you don't travel, but it just means like, don't give up. Especially if there needs to be travels that need to happen, like get through them, you will make it through. And belief systems require a lot of fortification. Like if you really believe in that, then be about it. Let go of any hypocrisy. Saturn here will really will really punish you if there is some sort of hypocrisy within you. Check out the beginning of the video for some remedies that could really help you during this transit, and also check out my video for Saturn in Pisces, because that's a more extended version there for you. Now let's see, what else do we have for Cancer for this Saturn in the 9th house. Saturn in Revati for Cancer, Saturn in Revati, and we have Cupid. So learning how to fall in love with life, learn how to romanticize your life, learn how to get out of this negative, pessimistic attitudes. Cancer, even if easy luck and easiness and comfortability is not coming in, you don't give up the joy, and you don't give up the romance in your life, and you don't give up seeing things with goodness. So that's like a test that's happening here. Heart chakra, you see, everything is like, are you working from the heart? Are you blocking your heart? what is going on with your heart chakra. Because even if the good luck is not there, don't let that become jaded. Don't let yourself become jaded with that. So a lot of heart chakra healing is very important during this time. And also assertiveness. So it's asking for you to be assertive, to not be waiting around for some good luck to happen. Be assertive about the things that you want. Don't be waiting for a lucky break. Don't be waiting for a lucky streak. Like, the moment has come for you to be assertive. Go and get what you want. Take action. Put effort. And be direct. And that's going to be helping you so much more, my beautiful Cancer. Alrighty, Cancer, those were your messages. If you want a more extended version, I highly suggest you go check out the Saturn in Pisces video. That's going to give you more information. And also remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to find the link. And also let us know in the comments how this Saturn in the 9th house has been teaching you and what you've been going through, so that we can all support you here. Check out the remedies at the beginning of the video to also subside any of the heaviness that Saturn may bring as well. So those were your messages. If you like it, make sure to give me a like and a hype. Thank you so much for being here. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Leos. Welcome, Leo, to your horoscope for Saturn in Pisces. And for you, you are definitely going through a very powerful time. When we have Saturn 8 houses from our sign, this is a very karmically intense time. Plus the fact that it's in the last degrees of Revati, this is really, really powerful. I suggest you check out everything I talked about at the beginning of the video, and also the remedies, because you really need to listen to it to understand what's going on here, because this is going right into the depth of your karma here, or your karmatic energies. And the energies of Saturn really want to cleanse out some psychological patterns that have not been helping you for a very long time. So some of the things that you might experience is like a sudden transformation or obstacles, like a sudden immense, some sort of sudden event happens in your life that changes you and that transforms you. This could be the birth or the death or an accident, God forbid. Of course, I don't wish any upon this on you. But if you are being proactive towards your transformation, then this lessens. But if you're being stubborn and not having any transformations, then Saturn may have to send something drastic to make you transform, because that is the main thing that Saturn wants to help you here, is to transform deeply. You can have a lot of a literal isolation, like feeling very isolated, and it's because you need some time to really do a lot of shadow work. You're going through a dark night of the soul here. So a lot of spiritual practices and the remedies at the beginning can really help you. And also sleep disruption. Okay, your psyche is disrupted because it cannot control. Saturn is showing you you cannot control things. You cannot control things. You are not the controller. You are not the controller, and you have to surrender, and you have to be honest, and you have to be vulnerable. And it's going to make you feel like I'm vulnerable, I'm stepping into the unknown, like what is happening. But that is a good thing, okay? That is a very, very good thing, that after this, like, you're really going to have a stronger psyche fully. So a lot of spiritual practices for you will be very good. You could also be having a lot of impulsive spending, so be careful, especially if it's other people's monies, especially if it's your partners or loans or grants. Like, be careful that you're not spending this in the incorrect ways. Be very responsible with the power that you have. And there's also an urgent need for karmic cleansing. You have an urgent need for karmic cleansing. So don't add more karma into your life. Really do the work and do the healing, and go to therapy, have a reading with me, do the somatic work, do the shadow work, face your fears. Like, this is the moment to really take these things very, very seriously. So another message that I have here for you, for Leo, for Saturn in Revati, for Leo, for Saturn in Revati, pay your loans, fix your credit, don't abuse your power. Very important. So we have surrender, frustration. So that could be one of the main things that is being released from your psyche, is the surrender of frustration. What has been frustrating you? Because frustration doesn't open any doors. So the key to resolving a dilemma is by dissolving a block. It is to take a deep breath, center yourself, and regroup. And you may approach the situation in a more calm way. So releasing frustration. This energy could be making you frustrated, but Saturn wants you to not fight it or be in control. It just wants you to surrender. We also have surrender addictions. Oof, this is so important. So important. What is your vice, Leo? What is your addiction? Pornography, food, sex, people, substances, alcohol. What is your addiction? What are you obsessing over? That needs to be healed. That needs to be taken care of. And that is something that Saturn is really, really telling you this needs to let go. We have to let go of this. And surrender to non-action. Very interesting. So this is telling you, like, now is the time for you to focus on your own power and let others come to you. Don't try to change. Don't try to impose your power onto others. That's not going to work. You just stay in your own energy, simply breathe and focus on your own power and let others naturally come to you. Don't try to, oh, they triggered me, so I have to change them. No, you change the trigger within you. You heal that part within you. So those are some messages. If you are really feeling a lot of the intensity, definitely check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. Also, check out the whole video because that's really going to help you understand this whole transit. It's very, very important for you, my beautiful Leo. Also, check out my Saturn in Pisces video. That's going to give you an extended version of this. And also know that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to find the link to book one today. Alrighty, Leo, those were your messages. Thank you so much for being here. And please let us know in the comments how this Saturn in the 8th house has been teaching you, what it has been teaching you, so that we can all be here to help you and to support you. So thank you for the likes. Thank you for the hypes. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Virgos. Welcome, Virgo, to your horoscope for this powerful transit of Saturn in Revati Nakshatra. And for you, it's going to be in the 7th house. So Saturn has been teaching you a lot about relationships, marriage, commitments, and regardless if you're single, it's teaching you, the importance of companionship and how you've been closing your heart and how you have become jaded against relationships. Or if you're already in a relationship, it's really putting the pressure on your relationship to make it into a diamond so that it can sustain another 30 years to come. And if it's not, and if it's a weak relationship, it's going to break under pressure. So very testing time for your commitments at this time. And so definitely check out the beginning of the video to understand more about this, and also my Saturn in Pisces video, because that's an extended version of this. But here, Virgo, business and marital partners are physically tested. Okay, so your business partner is being tested, your spouse is being tested, you are being tested within the relationship with them. Okay, if you are single, Saturn is saying time for you to commit. Okay, we're not going to be alone forever. Take this seriously. So you could really be feeling the heaviness of that. Also, slow moving relationship dynamics. Like, it's tedious, it's taking a while, it's not moving fast, they're taking some time to change. So a lot of patience and tolerance is required in your relationships. Now, of course, if you're being abused physically or mentally or emotionally, then definitely leave that. Saturn wants you to let go of that. But if it's a good relationship that is just tedious and you need a lot of tolerance, very important to move through these things. Also, there could be some feelings of emotional distance from your partner. There could be some distance that is happening here with your partner, and you really have to work on not letting the relationship just wither away. The relationship is like a garden. You have to water it and take care of it, and maybe it's not giving you fruits instantaneously. That's okay, but you don't stop watering it. Also, misunderstandings arise that demand extreme emotional maturity. So these are the tests. It wants you guys to take this relationship like adults seriously, and we cannot have any immaturities within our companionship. So those are the things that Saturn is truly testing for you guys here. For you guys, if there really is a very toxic, bad relationship for you, then this Revati Nakshatra is really going to ask you to change that status for sure, or a business partner. So let's see, what do we have for Virgo for the Saturn in Revati? And we have romantic feelings. So your feelings are real and they're worth exploring. Like, don't let the relationship just dry out. make an effort to put love, to put energy, to put sweetness. Don't expect anything back. Be kind, be tolerant, be gentle, and stay strong. You know, this you're learning about the importance of the feelings in a relationship, and it's just not, you know, doing the mundane things, but it's like also showing love, care, smiles, happiness, gentleness, important for the relationship to maintain and to be secure. New love, ooh, so for people who have been single for quite some time, there definitely could be new love coming into your life. And for those of you who are already in a relationship, there's a renewal of your love. That is what Saturn wants to do. Is like, for the next 30 years, we need a new type of relationship here, a different way of going about your relationship and getting to know each other. So you may feel like, I already know my partner, I've been with them for 30 years. Like, no. Have the curiosity to get to know them again. Every single day when they wake up, they're a new person. Don't lock them in a box. Be open to them changing and being different and evolving, and the same thing with you. So as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond is going to deepen. Okay, so those are your messages, Virgo. I hope that they help. Go check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That could really help you if you feel a lot of karmic energy going on in your partnerships at this time. Also check out what the meaning of Saturn in Revati is all about. That can really help you. And also check out the Saturn in Pisces video that is already in my channel, because that's going to be a more extended horoscope for you. Those were your messages, Virgo, and remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will be able to book one today. And please let us know in the comments how you've been handling this energy, what you've been learning from Saturn in Pisces. Alrighty, those were your messages, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the likes and the hypes. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Libras. Welcome, Libra, to your horoscope for this Saturn in the energies of Revati. And for you, it is in the 6th house. So Revati here has really been testing your health, Libra. It's been very, very difficult because Saturn has really been testing your health, testing your work, testing your daily life. If you've been lazy in it out, not doing many things in your daily life, then this is definitely affecting you. And Saturn here is really trying to help you to release any negative bad habits on a daily basis that are not working out for you. So one good thing here is that Saturn will definitely give you victory over enemies and litigations. So if you've been in some sort of case or trial or anything like this, like it's going to be tedious, but you will eventually win this out. Okay. There also, the health can improve strictly through structured discipline. So we really need to be structured about our nutrition, our working out. You can really see some amazing healing happening for you when Saturn goes into this energy. So Saturn can give you some good benefits because Saturn likes to be in the 6th house. But if you don't take discipline, then it could really affect your health. Okay. Also, it can also give you a little bit of more higher inner confidence in yourself. So that's very good. Take that. And it's also going to give you a deep positive phase for learning new systems and enjoying a psychological edge. So this is the time to make systems in your life, to organize systems in your life, and to get some really good results from it. The more you structure and follow routine, the more you do a to-do list, the more you have a schedule, the more Saturn will definitely be rewarding you here. So it can give you some very good benefits. But if you're not disciplined, this is the key with you. If you're not disciplined, if you're lazy, Saturn can really cause havoc to your health. So definitely take advantage of that. What else do we have for Libra? For Saturn in Revati Nakshatra, and we have savings. So the time for you to save money, the time for you to not spend it frivolously on things that you don't need, the time for you to really go into saving for your future. So saving money is going to be very important. We also have a partnership. So focusing on working together with your partner or with a business partner, coming together, learning how to live your day-to-day life in a positive way, not clashing, not making your partner an enemy. That is going to be very beneficial for you, my beautiful Libra, and it's going to help you in your daily life and in your work. And stay positive, faithful, and optimistic, okay? Any negativity can really, really hinder you here. It can hinder you emotionally, physically, and in your health. So we want to stay positive. You have some really good energy that can come to you. You're one of the only ones that actually can have some very good transit here. So stay positive. Saturn can really give you some amazing results. So stay with it. If you want to have an extended version of this, then I highly suggest you go check out Saturn and Pisces video that's already in my channel. That could really help you in understanding more about it. And also remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you take advantage of my promo and use the link here below to book a one-on-one session with me. Also check out the beginning of the video where we have remedies so that you're able to get all these great benefits from Saturn in the Revati Nakshatra. That is for you, Libra. I hope that helped. Love you guys so much. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please write in the comments what has been the lessons that Saturn has been teaching you while it's been transiting the sign of Pisces. We will love to hear it. Now we're going to be doing our beautiful Scorpios. Welcome, Scorpio, to your horoscope for this energy of Saturn in Revati Nakshatra. And for you, it is transiting through your 5th house of romance, of children, of passion. So there's definitely a very powerful energy here of transformation. Definitely check out my video of Saturn in Pisces because that's going to give you a more extended version. This is just a short little horoscope. So for you, Scorpio, some of the things that you can experience is a little bit of delay in romance and childbirth. Okay. And if you already have children, your children need more discipline. You need to step more into this authoritarian energy with them, and they might be going through a little bit of like, you know, a mature growth. Okay, so it may feel a little heavy for them, but nonetheless, this is also kind of restricting a little bit of the romantic energy. So you have to kind of work a little bit harder towards that. Choose love, choose romance a little bit more each day. And childbirth, you know, just be very diligent with your childbirthing. Be very diligent with, you know, anything that has to do with birthing a child. And also, you know, don't be stressed if it's taking a little bit longer to get pregnant or to create babies in your life. This will come at its perfect timing. This is also a period for serious education. Okay, so Saturn wants you to really start learning something. Learn something, get a degree, get a certification, find some teachers. Like, take your studies seriously, especially if it's like ancient scripture studies. This is definitely the time to take those things very seriously. Also, avoid sudden speculation, okay? You are naturally a very good trader, usually. But right now, you may be feeling like you're not getting that many trades. I don't suggest deep, you know, intense speculation or a lot of risk for you. Be more conservative, maybe looking more into more classical investments that are a little bit more boring and a little bit more Saturnian will be better for you. But Saturn here is definitely not allowing for those big speculative gains to kind of happen immediately. Now, you could also be feeling some like emotional heaviness in love. So just know that it's Saturn, okay? No, it's nothing bad, you know? Talk about it, be vulnerable about it, be expressive about it, maybe make art about it. But just know that Saturn may just bring this little bit of heavy-heartedness around your love and around your relationships. There could also be some creative blocks for artists. So Saturn wants you to organize yourself. Saturn wants you to put some structure in your creativity, and then that's going to help it flow a lot better. Okay, you're not the spontaneous creator right now. Like, have some structure, and that can really help you. And also, it demands a transition from casual to deep, serious mindset in romance. So if you're just casually dating, Saturn here saying, no, get serious about your romantic partner, like who you really are giving your heart to, and who you're really committing to. Don't just, you know, give your energy out to anybody and anything. Saturn wants you to take your romantic relationships very seriously at this time. So let us look a little bit deeper into these messages. What else do we have for Saturn in for Scorpio, for Saturn in Revati? Check out my video for Saturn in Pisces. That's going to be an extended version. And also the remedies at the beginning of the video that can really help with the heaviness of this transit. So what do we have for Scorpio for the Saturn in Revati? And we have retreat. Okay. Yes. Like, don't be afraid of having a little bit of space between you and your partner. If you're currently single, like, you know, you're and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like I used to have so much more romance, but now it's like dried out. You need some time alone to kind of form yourself into a better wife, into a better husband. With your partner, you know, like you guys need a little bit of space, especially if you guys are together all the time. So having a little bit of space is good. If there's too much space between the both of you, then what would be amazing is actually going on a retreat together, or going on some travels together and like isolate yourself from the world together. That's going to be really nice for you. Also, we can feel a sense of separation. We can be triggered to have some sort of separation at this time with your partner. So again, there's a lot of, you know, understand that Saturn is just putting this heaviness of the heart. Don't make any life-changing decisions, but if there is a relationship that needs to end because it is violent, because it is abusive, then definitely that could happen. And also I see that, you know, finding your true love, like understanding what romance is, and understanding that it's something that you have to put in the energy, the effort. It's not just something, yes, at the beginning, the pheromones and the chemistry of the body is like making it happen on its own. But if you want to have that ecstasy, you have to later get creative and put the energy into it. It's not going to be just something that happens forever and ever. And if it's not happening forever, then that doesn't mean that, oh, this is not the one, I shouldn't be with them. No, it's a natural evolution. What else do we have for Scorpio for this Saturn in Revati? And we have entrepreneurship. Yes, working hard to your creative endeavors, working hard on what you're creating and what you're studying. It's a steady progress, and it is also, you know, with love. So love is here for you. You guys might just need a new dynamic, so that there could be more love. And remember, like, having space doesn't mean that you don't love each other. It just means that you can have some time to miss each other, and that's a good thing. Okay, so those were your messages. If you would like to see an extended version, check out Saturn in Pisces. That's already in my channel. And also check out the remedies at the beginning of the video if you've been feeling a lot of the heaviness of this transit. That could really help you. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me. In the description here below, you will find a link for it. And thank you so much, Scorpio, for being here. If you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments what are the lessons that you've been learning with Saturn in Pisces so far. Now we're going to be doing our beautiful Sagittariuses. Welcome, Sagittarius, to your horoscope for this powerful Saturn in the energies of Revati. And for you, Saturn is actually transiting in the 4th house, a very important placement that deals with family matters, that deals with home and mother. Now, for you, Sagittarius, this is a very powerful time, and we're definitely having a little bit of property delays when Saturn is in Revati. So tedious situations with property. It's taking too long to do the changes. It's taking too long to sell. It's taking too long to buy. Maybe there's renovations that are taking forever. Maybe there's construction around your house and it's like taking forever. So there's like delays in property, delays in construction around your property. So be calm about that. And you know, there could also be an increase of responsibility towards the home. Don't ignore this. Not just the home, but also your mother. Maybe your mother needs more help from you. There's also a time where you're going to be cleansing the karmic ancestral karma from your family. Check out the beginning of the video because I talk about that, and especially for you is very, very important. That could really help you. So there's a lot of this. And there's also a desire for physical solitude. You know, you may not be finding peace at your home with who you live with or your roommates. You may be feeling like, oh, I need some space for my own. So there is a desire for having a little bit of physical solitude at this time. You could also be experiencing some emotional stress regarding the home, regarding the past, regarding your childhood, regarding your mother. There could be some emotional stress and ancestral baggages that could also be kind of putting a lot of heavy weight on you. You can also be feeling the lack of peace. Like like you can't seem to find that peace or that happiness. It's like there's this lack of peace. That's why you're seeking a little bit of solitude for yourself, and also requirements for deep inner stability. So really finding how you can become emotionally stable regardless of the people around you, releasing any codependencies, releasing any childhood fears, releasing any fears of the past, releasing any tendencies for these immaturities. You really are going through like a growth spurt very strongly. So let's see, if you're having any of these experiences and you want to release a little bit of the tension, check out the remedies at the beginning of the video. That can really help you. What do we have for Sagittarius for this Saturn in Revati? Yes, there is some stress happening here for you. So surrender the stress. Take some deep breaths, especially if home or family or it's stressing you out. We need to really practice like centering, inner stability, relaxation, releasing the stress. Also surrender to non-action. So stop trying to do more, but just focus on your own energy and let others naturally come to you. Naturally come to you. And that doesn't mean ignore the responsibilities of the home and family. No, you can do it. But just, when you have the ability for non-action, for just like taking the route of least effort, like making it effortless, and just focusing on your own power, that's really what I'm seeing. It's like this is the moment to build your own emotional security. Not because you're having something outside of yourself giving you security. No, it's within. That is the practice of owning your own energy into your own power and let others come to you. And last but not least, surrender your desire to control people. So we can do this because we want to feel safer. So it's like being overly controlling can sabotage a relationship. So to be more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So this is a little bit of codependency where we're trying to fix people or change them or make them do what we want them to do. So don't control people, control yourself, control your energy. That is really going to help you a lot during the Saturn in Revati transit. Alrighty, Sagittarius, definitely check out my Saturn in Pisces transit because that's going to be an extended video for your transit here. This is just a short one for Revati Nakshatra. I really hope that it has helped. And remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then I highly suggest that you book a consultation with me in the description here below. And that is your messages. Check out the remedies at the beginning of the video to subside any tension or pressure for yourself. And also let us know in the comments what has been the things that you have experienced and what you have learned with Saturn transiting in the sign of Pisces. Alrighty, those are your messages. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you. Thank you for the likes and the hypes. And now we're going to be doing our beautiful Capricorns. Welcome, Capricorn, to your horoscope for this Saturn in the energies of Revati Nakshatra. And for you, this is very important because Saturn is your planet and Saturn is currently transiting your third house. So here Saturn is really bringing you a lot of courage that is going to increase. Actually, you can get some really good benefits. Saturn is going to give you some good results for you, Capricorn, here. So it is boosting your courage. It is increasing your courage and is increasing it gradually. Okay, so the more you put yourself out there, the more you get out of the comfort zone, the more courage you're going to really build with Saturn in the third. Also, with Saturn in Revati, you can experience success through a persistent effort. So if you've been persistently working at something, then this is going to definitely give you a lot of potential to really grow and a lot of potential to really exceed your expectations. So stay strong, stay consistent, do not stop. This is a very important time to keep going, and this persistent effort will definitely show success. Also, it is excellent for marketing right now. So this is a good time for you to market yourself. This is a good time for you to get yourself out there. This is a good time for you to let yourself be known, and to, bring out that message to the world. Like that is going to be very good. And anything with communications is also very powerful for you. Now, also, you could be experiencing some delays in inner confidence. So even though you're increasing in courage, internally you could be feeling like, I'm lacking some confidence. I need to work harder. Like that feeling of insecurity before you're doing something better and better and better. So you may be experiencing that as well. Also, apprehension regarding sibling dynamics. So sibling dynamics can be a little bit karmic for you right now. How you were treated when you were young with your siblings, and all these things are kind of coming up to the surface and to be healed, to be transformed. And also, this is a time for though fears are largely internal, they're illusions. So it's also a time to truly control your mind and purify your mind from any mental baggage or mental negativity. Like, this is the moment for you to truly become a master of, like, I'm not gonna let these mental negative thoughts get the best of me, and they're all illusions. They're all illusions, and to truly become a master of these things. So let's see, what else do we have for Capricorn, for Saturn in Revati Nakshatra? And we have, wedding, a commitment, a marriage. So thoughts around your marriage, thoughts around your partner are going to be very important to be cleansed, to be controlled, to choose good thoughts about them. If you are currently not in a relationship, then this could really shift you to start getting into the mindset of marriage, into the mindset of really committing yourself. Your commitments right now are very important. So if you're committing yourself to something, this is going to show fruits. So don't be afraid of commitment. Like, this is the moment to really commit to someone, to a cause, to a situation, to a job, to an endeavor that's really going to bear fruits for you. Also, child. Some of you guys might be becoming parents. Some of you guys already have children. Some of you guys are also shifting your mind around children. The wedding can bring children for you naturally. So let this be a transformation to your mind. It's going to be something better. It's going to strengthen your mind. It's going to strengthen your ability to move forward in life. So the children is definitely going to be something great. Any childish thought patterns, childish fears that you could have had in your mind since being a child are also being eradicated at this time. And also, see only love. This is so important. Do not let your mind get so negative. Do not let your mind get so dark. Do not let your mind go into this painful thought patterns. Like, see only love. Learn to see love in everything, even when it pisses you off, even when you feel like you want to, hurt them or whatever. Like, learn to see love. Learn to see that God is in this person, God is in the situation. They have a soul too. They're trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure it out and do our best in life. And that could really help you so that the mind doesn't get so dark and heavy. Alrighty, Capricorn, those were your messages for Saturn in Revati. I hope that they help. Definitely check out the Saturn in Pisces video, because that's going to be an extended version of this. That's going to help you so much more. Also, check out the remedies at the beginning of the video that can really help you to subside any of the negative effects of this transit. And understand that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then definitely book a consultation with me in the description here below. And those are your messages, my beautiful Capricorn. If you like them, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and please let us know in the comments what have been the lessons that you've been learning with Saturn transiting in Pisces. We will love to hear it. Now we're going to be doing our beautiful Aquariuses. Welcome, Aquarius, to your horoscope for this Saturn in the energies of Revati Nakshatra. And so for you, Saturn is a very important planet. It is the planet that rules you. So this is going to be very palpable and felt it for you. You're also at the end of your Sati Sati here. So you're still working through this. So this is definitely a very, very powerful transit for you. Definitely check out the beginning of the video to understand more about this transit so that you are prepared to handle it at the best way possible, along with the remedies. So for you, Saturn in the second house has to deal a lot with your energies of your money and your self-esteem and your security. So here, there's a lot of demands for a strict financial discipline. That's what Saturn really wants to teach you, like strict financial discipline. Don't play with your money. Don't get rich quick schemes. No, this is the moment to really think long term for a while. Be responsible with the money, save more money, be shrewd with your money. Very disciplined with your finances, along with speech becomes slower but highly influential. So your speech is also very powerful at this time, especially if you're talking about subjects of spirituality or anything related with, transcendental knowledge or spirituality, or, an artistic or imaginary thing or spiritual thing. This is going to be very powerful for you, my beautiful Aquarius. So your speech becomes very powerful, and you are in a time right now of a lot of financial, maturity that is happening. At the same time, you may be feeling a little bit emotionally dry, and people may feel you to be a little bit emotionally dry, disconnected, cold. So, try to smile more. That's going to be good. And don't stay too much into this expression of coldness. There's also a need to heavily modulate tone and temper to avoid alienating family during wealth building. So how you speak, how you talk can either make people turn away from you or get closer to you. And this is the moment to really be conscious of that. I know that you might just want to tell them in their face exactly what they need to hear, but you will attract more bees with honey than vinegar. That's really for you right now, and understanding the power that lies in that. Because when you have that, then more wealth, more prosperity will definitely come into your life. Don't let the speech become so harsh that it just puts people down and puts them away, and it doesn't really work in your favor either. So very important things to truly learn about finances and about how you speak at this time. Let's understand a little bit more. Definitely check out the Saturn in Pisces video. That video is an extended version of this video, and that's going to give you so much more messages through there. What else do we have for Saturn, for Aquarius, for Saturn in Revati Nakshatra? And we have cooperation instead of competition. So you see, right now, there's a key where you can really become more wealthy by cooperating, but it's only going to happen if you are conscientious of how you speak. If you are too harsh, too intense, too blunt, and too insensitive, then that is going to actually pull people away. How can you attract them with honey? How can you attract them with honey so that we can all work together in cooperation? Also, we have detox your friendships. Yes, there might be some friendships around you that are not beneficial, that you need to really kind of close the chapter on those relationships that are draining your money, your finances, that are encouraging bad habits. And so it's time to kind of close that off for you. And also exercise to increase your manifesting abilities. Work out, move your body. That is going to be very beneficial so that the stagnancy, it doesn't take too much in your life, okay? And whenever you're feeling a little frustrated or stagnant, definitely go move your body, and that can start attracting that abundance in your life naturally. So those are your messages, my beautiful Aquarius. Please check out my Pisces, Saturn and Pisces video, because that's going to give you so much more understanding about this transit and more extended messages. Also check out the remedies at the beginning of the video if you're experiencing a lot of heaviness in this transit in your second house of money and finance. That can really help you in alleviating it. And also check out the understanding of Saturn and Revati, because you going through your Sarisati, you really need to understand this so that you can be successful at this last round of your Sarisati. After this, you're done with it. So we want to finish this with a golden lock. So those were your messages. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message, then definitely book a consultation with me in the description here below. And that is all. So if you like these messages, make sure to give me a like and a hype, and also let us know in the comments what has been the lessons that you've been learning with Saturn transiting through Pisces. Now we're going to be doing our beautiful Pisces. Welcome, Pisces, to your horoscope for this powerful Saturn and the energies of Revati. And for you, this is a very important transit. I highly suggest you go check out the whole video with the remedies and everything, because you are in the middle of your Sarisati. And if you have any placements in Revati Nakshatra, Sun, Moon, or any other planet, very, very important. Very important time for you. So definitely listen to that. So with you, my beautiful Pisces, you are in this moment of a lot of growth, of a lot of understanding, of a lot of maturity. And right now, when Saturn goes into the energies of Revati, you may be going through a physically demanding phase. Either you have more work, more responsibility, more workload, or your body could be going through some deterioration. Like, we really need to pay attention to your body. Very, very important. Okay, do not neglect your body. Get into your body, connect with your body, and give your body what it needs. If it's, you know, if you have to go to the doctor, go check the things that you need to get checked. Like, it is so important that we become very responsible with our bodies. Also, personality turns highly reserved. Okay, this could be a time where you're being a little bit more reserved, a little bit more strong, a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more concrete, which is good. And also watch any respiratory health at this time. I do not suggest that you smoke. I do not suggest that you do anything that can hinder your lungs. So make sure that you are taking care of your lungs at this time and making them strong so that you don't have any problems there. Now, we can also be feeling some intense psychological loneliness despite being surrounded by people. So you really may be feeling a sense of loneliness, and you need to have this sort of isolation right now so that we can heal any subconscious patterns that have not been helping you at this time. Also, your energy may drop. Okay, you may not be feeling so energetic as usual, but I really suggest yoga. Stretching for you will be fantastic to just kind of keep the energy being too heavy on you from the Saturn in Pisces, and ushering a very mature life lessons at this time. Like, just understand that you are in this mature life lessons at this time, and like, the old is not gonna work. You really have to step up to this new level of maturity, and that's what Saturn is doing here for you. So very powerful energies. So let's see, what else do we have for Pisces for Saturn in Revati Nakshatra, for Pisces for Saturn in Revati Nakshatra. And we have the ocean, water. Water is going to be very good for you. Drinking lots of water is going to be very important for you during this time. So make sure a lot of water in your life. Go jump in the ocean, go jump in the river, go jump in the water, take baths, take lots of showers, at least 2 a day. And get connected to the water element. Pray over your water, drink it. Drink at least 2 liters of water a day. That's going to be very healthy for you. Also, be honest with yourself. You're going through a reality check right here, and when it goes into Revati, is like the ultimate reality check. So get very honest with yourself about you, about your life, about what you want, about everything, because it's really going to push you. You cannot live in illusion or in pretenses anymore. And we also have fresh air. So be outside, get a lot of sunlight, get a lot of, good oxygen, do some breath work out there in nature. But fresh air is going to be really, really nice for you, my beautiful Pisces, just to alleviate some of the heaviness of this Saturn in the energies of Revati. Definitely check out the remedies at the beginning of the video that can really help you if you're feeling a lot of the intensity here. So definitely check them out. Also check out the rest of the video, because I talk all on what this means, and you really need to hear that because you're in the middle of your Sarisati. And also check out my Saturn in Pisces video. That is an extended version of this horoscope that can really give you more messages. Remember that these are general messages. If you would like to have a specific message to your situation, then I highly suggest that you book a one-on-one consultation with me in the description here below. And please let us know in the comments what have been the lessons that you've been learning with Saturn transiting through your sign, my beautiful Pisces. We would love to hear it. And those are your messages, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the likes and the hypes. And thank you so much to everybody for being here for this beautiful video on Saturn in the Revati Nakshatra. Sending everybody so much love and light. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Hari Bol and Hari Krishna.